Welcome once again to another edition of Shelf Life Book Reviews online. Thank you for taking the time to watch my video, which I hope you'll find informative. And when you go to your local bookstore, you will very seriously consider the book that I'm about to review for you. It is a most fascinating book. The book is ReadMe.txt by Chelsea Manning. This is published by McClelland and Stewart, and it retails for $36.99. Chelsea Manning is a transgender author and who has had quite the story. This is an amazing memoir. So if you're looking for a riveting book, this is definitely one that you should add to your collection. When Chelsea was younger, she lived in a home that was, well, dysfunctional to say the least. The father and mother were both alcoholics. They drank. The father was very abusive and he was violent, and it was not a home that was conducive to a young boy growing up. Now, when she was young, Chelsea did not want to do boy things. Her favorite movie was The Little Mermaid, and her father didn't want her to watch it because he didn't think that was masculine. And although Chelsea wanted, to play with dolls and girl-oriented toys, he was against that. So he bought toy soldiers and put them there in her room because he wanted her to be influenced by male images rather than female images. And that's not what she was all about, and she knew that at a very young age. Eventually, the father and mother did divorce, and the mother and Chelsea went to live in Wales because the mother had relatives there. So they pretty well broke from the past relationship. Now, ironically, the father was in the IT department of a moving company, and that really interested Chelsea in computers. So she learned to be very, very adept at computers. Even she had great hacking skills, and she was also interested in the military. So put the two and two together, and she was deployed to Iraq. Really to work as an advisor for the Army. She was whip smart in figuring things out in military maneuvers, and she was quite an asset to that part of the military. Now, she learned that, the U.S. Army in Iraq was supposed to catch a bunch of terrorists in a certain part of town. And for some reason, they relied on an old map. And because of this, they went to the wrong apartment building. And there, they slaughtered 12 innocent people in that building. And rather than say, we made a mistake, it was just like they were rejoicing because they killed 12 of the enemy, whether they were the right ones or not. And this really worried Chelsea. This is not what she thought war was all about. It was not about killing the innocents. And so eventually she took a hard drive and she downloaded tens of thousands of documents about the military and about things that had gone wrong. So she contacted the WikiLeaks organization back in 2010, and she sent them a whole bunch of documents. Now, of course, that was against, they considered that treason. And so she was arrested, and she was sent to a wire cage. I think it was 8 by 8, and she was isolated in that cage, and that became her home for a long time. She was not given, she was given food, and she was basically deprived of a decent living environment at the time. So when she did come back to America for the trial, she was still sort of isolated in a cage. They wanted her to actually, way back in the war, she does mention that she had a female supervisor there who really mocked her the fact that she had not transitioned yet, and made fun of the fact that she was, gay, and she harassed her constantly. So it was horrible conditions in the military that she had to live through. So, anyways, they had the trial, and she was convicted and sent to prison. And even in prison, she was isolated at times. She wanted to wear female, garb at the prison, and all they really gave her to wear was a pair of women's panties. That was it. So it is quite the story. You will be amazed and impressed by her resilience and what she went through, early in life with her father, and the mother as well too. It's in many ways, was a sad beginning, but she rose above the adversity. And although she did something that she might have shown regret for later by sending the files to WikiLeaks, she still did it because she thought it was in the best interest of the country. So it is quite a story. It's one you will not forget. So if you want to read an amazing book, amazing memoir, read readme.txt, because this is definitely a book that will stay with you a long time after you reach the final page. So that's a book I wanted to draw to your attention this time out. Hopefully you will add it to your collection and be as impressed as I was by Chelsea Manning's story. So please let me know if you do agree with me. So until we meet again, and we will, stay safe, stay sane, and stay in touch. And I will see you